We're here at the Museum Hotel Cafe with CATHRYN MONRO. I'm Simon from InspirationalTV.net. CATHRYN, how did it all start? There's a beautiful sculpture out there, per capita.
Well, it started with Chris Parkin going to the Sculpture Trust and saying he had some funding and an intention to have a sculpture outside his hotel. Wow. And then they invited me and several other sculptors to put in a proposal for the work, which I did. Went to a second stage, and then it was the one that was selected.
Okay, so you've been doing sculptures for a wee while, or you've been involved with art in the art scene?
Yeah, I've been a practicing artist for about 20 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what I do.
It's quite a big sculpture out there. It's nothing small. It's quite grand. So, would it be the biggest thing you've done so far?
No, it's not the biggest work I've done, but it is a big work. It's monumental, and I think for public sculpture in that site, it needed to be.
Sure. There's a great story behind that sculpture as well. It's not just massive chunks of steel on the ground, is it? Tell us about that story.
Oh, which story are you thinking of? Because there's several. Yeah.
It's got the portraits of people in there as well. I think there's a strong theme of people in the work. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I think when I was asked to do the work, I was interested in the site, and that's an important part of a public sculpture that makes it relevant to where it sits. So in terms of the site, it is a pedestrian, or will be a much more pedestrian area as it's developed, and I think the city is about people. And I was thinking about the fact that it's the capital, and this is a hotel, and we're near Te Papa, and I was thinking the buildings are getting bigger,
sure, but
I wanted to upscale the presence of people and actually what it means to be a New Zealander and what it means to live in Wellington.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's also a bicultural aspect to your work as well, and also even your own children have a part to play. The actual figureheads themselves, where did that come from?
Well, the form of using the little cameo or the cutout portrait came from a portrait that my grandmother had done of my mother, a little embroidered cameo that she was making some bookends. So that was sort of where the form came from, that idea of the cameo. But in terms of who those portraits are of, they're all conglomerate portraits. They're made of a number of people, but they really do speak about, like you say, that question around biculturalism and what it means to be a New Zealander, and the fact that we all come from many places. I have Swiss, Italian, English, Irish, Scottish and Norwegian heritage, but my tupuna came here in 1842. But for my children, they've got a number of other things to reconcile about living in New Zealand and how they place themselves and see themselves as particularly as having a bicultural whakapapa.
Awesome. I heard that the reason that you chose such thick steel, part of the reason was because Wellington was so windy and you weren't too sure whether it was going to get blown away.
No. It could have been much thinner structurally. It's designed, apparently, a guy called Raed Al-Saraf at HERA, the Heavy Engineering Research Association. He's estimated that the work should last for about 300 years. 300 years. Yeah. It should be around for a wee bit longer.
Yeah. That's fantastic.